Um, the evidence is the reason why I say it. For those of you who have been following me on YouTube, you'll know why I said that. I just did another video about 20 minutes and 25 seconds. Uh, it's under this one. It's right up under this one. You can watch it before you come and watch this one here. Um, I have various reasons why I say what I say. Now, like I said, I don't walk around calling myself a Jew. I don't say that because um, right from what I went off of my whole life, it was talking about all I heard was Creole, Creole, family Creole, this and that. And Creole is nothing but a language. Let's just make that clear. It's not a it's not a nationality. Just like Puerto Rican is not a nationality. No, wait a minute, excuse me. Puerto Rican is not a race. Just like Creole is not a race. It's just I would say a nationality. It's just a name, a label. Anybody can, at the end of the day, can come under the umbrella of that if they choose. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's just a word. It's just something, but it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define your family tree. None of that. uh, I don't even know how to even finish wording that off. You know what I mean? Because for me, I can't use that name Creole. I can't. I would. Mm-mm. It's just a label. That's all. Um, it's what you can choose to identify yourself under that. I mean, I don't choose to I say I'm a Creole. I don't go around saying I'm a Creole. No, I don't do that. I just said that it was just a label, a title. That's all. But it doesn't define you. I don't think I wouldn't say that it defines you. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I no, it doesn't. I wouldn't say that a name doesn't define you. It's all about what this brother. He was a Hebrew brother. He was a Israelite brother that said this here. He was an Israelite brother. He's on YouTube. He said, well, it's all about the behavior. Is what defines you. Have you noticed that they say actions determine your character? You hear people say love speaks louder than words. A name doesn't it's not going nowhere. It's going to identify you. You feel me? It doesn't define you. It doesn't define your behavior. Just a name, a label itself doesn't define you. Your behavior is what does that. Your behavior is what defines you. If you like, for example, if a person put a label on themselves and they tell themselves, oh, I love this and I love my people. I love I really love cooking. I love cooking these burgers and I love that. But they never see actions of you doing that. They don't see your behavior has to reflect that. My behavior has to reflect that. You see what I'm saying? My behavior has to reflect that. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't wake up and say, you know what? Um, you can't wake up and I can't just tell you that I'm poor if you don't see the behavior of it. You see what I'm saying? If that kind of makes sense, let me know if that makes sense. Your behavior has to show that. So when I look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, and God said in the Bible, He said these curses will be upon you for a sign and for a wonder and upon thy seed forever, right? I have to follow what the Bible says. The Bible tells you that. The Bible is like a map, right? If you want to go from here to New York, you ain't just gonna just pick up and go to New York, is you? If you've never been there before, it wouldn't make no sense to say I'm going to New York. Well, how you gonna get? Have you been there? Have you ever traveled? Nope. No, you can't do that. You got to first know where you're going. For one, you got to be done experienced it, right? Traveling there, your behavior has to show that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like God said, if you love me, keep my commandments. It's saying, okay, if you love me, your behavior is not showing that. You see what I'm saying? You're not even trying. Your behavior has to reflect that. My behavior has to reflect what it may give you a general idea of who you are. That's what those curses does. He said there are certain people, if they didn't keep the commandments of God, if they didn't follow these laws, he said these signs are going to follow them to let the people know who the Jews are, because they're going to be living under certain conditions. They're going to fit certain characteristics. They're going to behave. It's a certain way you're going to see them behave, right? Versus the so-called white people, versus the Japanese people. Everybody had, look, we have 18 nations in the Bible, right? Each nation, and I'm going to prove that when I get home. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 7, which says 7 nations greater and mightier than thou, and all of that. Go look that up. The 7 nations, meaning the 17 nations, right? Okay, Israel, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, they're going to have a certain swag about them. They're going to have a certain, it's a certain way they're going to be talking. Like, for example, who says, man, I'm going back to the crib. Oh, my nigga. Who says that? My nigga. Oh, man, that's my nigga there. You know, that's normally the Black culture talk, right? It's Costa Rican, Mexican, all the so-called Mexicans, which would be Issachar in the Bible. It's a certain way they're gonna walk. It's a certain way they're gonna move themselves to let you know who they are. Just like if a mother, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Just like if a mother knows her children from anybody else's children, right? I can be walking over yonder. Let's say, well, if it's at night or in the day, this is at night. Let's say I'm at night. My mother be like, and my father. Well, I don't have my father; he's not living, you know. So we just gonna say mother. I can be walking, and even though I'm about 15 distance from her, my mother probably would be able to look and say, that looked like my son. That way that walk, it just looks like it. More than likely, she ain't gonna be wrong because she know my walk, she know my talk, she know. Even if you got a father in the house, right? They gonna know their children from the way they walk. They gonna have a certain swag and a walk about them. It's a certain way they gonna talk. If they get somewhere, and they ain't got to even see you, they can just hear the voice. Let me say, that sound like my son. That sound like my daughter. They gonna know because they raised you and you came from them, right? So that's the way God is about his chosen people, right? He gonna know you. He gonna know your walk. You're gonna have a certain walk. You're gonna have a certain way that it's a certain normal morality. You're going to behave a certain way. You're going to present a certain way, the way that you move. You see what I'm saying? It's a certain way that you're going to move. Now, notice where I'm going. Now, where I'm going with this here is when you look in the vast majority of the ghettos. Ghetto means where the people who are Jews are very poor, right? When you look in ghettos and in slums, who do you in poor conditions? Who do you think of that are poor? Who do you think of that are rich? Right? There are people in this world that control the world, right? There are people that control. If you do something wrong, what do? They pull up. If you got a charge on you, they put you in a penitentiary, right? What more than likely, what nation of people do you think of when you think of all those things? When you think of that, When you have accidents and stuff, more than likely, who shows up and write out reports? We all know who controls the world. Nobody is ignorant to that. Everybody, hold on. Nobody is ignorant who controls this world. Everybody know who controls the world. Even the dumbest up person know who controls the world. A person that I didn't even know how to read and write, but I had sense enough to knew that white people control the so-called white Caucasian people control the world. I didn't understand why, but I always knew that there was a difference in between so-called black people controlling the world versus so-called white people controlling the world. I always knew it was a difference, but I didn't understand why. But I knew it was a difference. I didn't know how to read or write. You ain't got to be a genius to know that. Even dogs and animals about know who control the world. They know that the so-called Caucasian people control the world over anybody, and they animals. You know what I'm saying? They know that the Caucasian people locked them up in zoos, caught them and locked them up. They know that. They know we ain't. They may not can come out and say black and all that kind of stuff. Black people, animals don't have that kind of like a sense of humor to do that. But they smart enough to know who locked them up. Yeah, they smart enough to know that. So if the animals and the birds and the squirrels and the rabbits and all that, look, and even the ant knows, then you know that there is nobody that's living on this planet in different parts of the world. Everybody knows that the so-called white man is everywhere. They know that they went around and stole everybody's identity and calling everybody them. Everybody about know that, especially in this so-called modern day 2023. You know what I'm saying? I think seem like I hear some music. I think I'm gonna stop right. But yeah, they put diseases all over the world. Yeah. So um yeah, everybody know who control the world. Everybody do. Everybody got sense enough to know. So can't nobody really. Too many people play ignorant and dumb and act like they don't know what's going on. Like, come on, man, you know who controls the world. Stop. You see what I'm saying? If you go in them stores and take something, more than like who gonna be behind you going in their prison system in the penitentiary and putting handcuffs on you and taking you into their jail system? More than like who gonna do that? The so-called white man. Now they may use our people to do it, but even though the people that work for them, they still behind them doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? They still is behind them what they're doing. Yeah, they still is behind. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. Hold on.